Good morning. Nice to be here again with you. Reed here, back at Orchestra Farms. Owner-operator of bendingreeds.com. You can also find me at bendingreeds.bandcamp.com. Listen to my new album, Life in the Jackalope's Den. That's right, I'm still promoting all that. And I'm noticing some good old frostiness here at the farm. I guess it's Thanksgiving in the United States in 2023. And here in Canada we did that back in October. So just a ordinary-ish day here. Getting ready to go to work for the day. And in my conversation with my wife this morning, while we were drinking tea, the idea of ruffling feathers came up. And she was like, Reed, your honesty is one of those things that tends to ruffle people's feathers. And it must be the notion that I'm less in pain from sharing that. Ooh, this is a lot of frost over here. Less in pain from and in discomfort from sharing that honesty than the pain of just keeping it to myself. You hear all that crunching below my feet. It's pretty great. And the conversation that I had on Friday night, talking about the ability of myself when I'm playing by myself to be in the dissonance of things compared to when I'm playing with others, and I play a bit more consonantly with them compared to having an audience. And then that next layer of playing with potentially even more consonants, and that quality of like ruffling feathers, or creating a level of a charge with a person or a group of people. And the thing being that there's actually a lot of growth potential, there's a lot of beauty that happens in the dissonance, especially from the context of the resolution that happens when you come back to that consonance. And if you're just going from a consonant thing to a consonant, there's really no resolution that happens there. It just is all kind of the same. And in a world of novelty, there's an acknowledgement of like, if you look across generations, the things that happen that are new, the younger generations tend to, depending on if it's a reasonable thing or not, or however it goes, have ease with it, whereas a older generation might find it disquieting or otherwise, dissonant. And that goes all the way back to even, when the printing press came out and when writing first started to happen. So it's kind of a tale as old as time from a human standpoint. Let's check this out. The water is definitely... And so one of my notions being that being able to be in that discomfort or be with the dissonance is actually a practice in moving with the times and being able to experience what is and not just immediately categorize it as bad. Along with I don't actually see any emotions as a bad thing, even though some are obviously pretty constant, like happiness and joy, and the list goes on, compared to what some people might call a dissonant emotion, such as being upset or angry or grief-stricken. Again, the list goes on. And there's actually a lot of beauty in all those things. Just like so many beings are essentially afraid of death, whether it's of themselves or of others. And the notion that a lot of people see death as an ugly thing, whereas there's actually a lot of opportunity to see a great deal of beauty in that. And that perspective shift, I think, is actually really important. You know, the ability to see beauty in what maybe like the rest of society is seeing as ugly. The ability to separate out what the crowd is experiencing compared to what you're experiencing. The ability to not let other opinions and perspectives shift your own. And to have a unique take on what's happening. I feel like a lot of that can be worked on or practiced by using the arts, by allowing yourself to make dissonant sounds and then come to a nice consonant resolution, to, you know, work with colors and use contrasting colors and then let them be just as they are. To even the notion of, you know, if you're working out, that to really, you know, create more muscle, to increase your density of your bones and to run farther, that there's going to be some moments of discomfort, some moments of dissonance that take place with that. And you got to get through that to reach new levels of personal well-being. And so in all these ways where it seems to me like society at large is trying to keep us comfortable and keep life convenient, it's actually by taking moments to let go of those things, to be in discomfort, to lack convenience, that we can have so much more appreciation for living a good life, for, you know, simple luxuries. And we think of them as simple if you're living in the first world, and if you don't have them in another part of the world, you really realize what a remarkable thing they are. And the ability to explore that through the artistic spaces, I think, actually provides us with an opportunity that's relatively unparalleled and allow us to move more gracefully with difficult circumstances or situations that take place. The practice that I was thinking about today, as my wife was talking about how I, in my honesty and realizing that lots of people would rather tell a white lie or just not be as straightforward and direct with things. I don't know, I could be off base, but that's what I'm thinking about today. Wondering if that ruffled your own feathers or your skin, gave you goosebumps. We got under your skin. There's all sorts of expressions that utilize those curious aspects of feeling sense. And to encourage you, if you're not having any of those practices, to give them a shot. Anyway, thanks for watching these videos. Thanks for subscribing to this YouTube channel. Thanks for going over to Bandcamp at Bending Reeds, or it's www.bendingreeds.bandcamp.com. Check out my new album, Life in the Jackalope's Den. If you want to even just listen to some things that maybe have a little dissonance and sit through it. It's not as dissonant as previous things I've done, but there's some in there for sure. And if you can follow me there, that would be ultra appreciated. And you could also purchase my album, which would be amazing. And have too much fun.